The center position in basketball is no longer what it once was. From bigs who shatter backboards with sheer force,
Puts it on the floor. And stops and he brought it down. He brought the whole down. Goodness.
to superstars who shatter teams with slick passes.
Jokic with the block shot, his second tonight. Oh! What a pass by Jokic!
Nikola Jokic has redefined the center position forever. Shaq was the last big to become the best player in the NBA. After him, we had players who never really reached that level, like Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee. This period proved that the center position was becoming obsolete until the Joker flipped the entire script. From players that focused on down-low post play to pick-and-roll centers, to those who became just outside threats, to where we are now, bigs who can play inside or outside the paint. This is how one man changed the center position. When we think about basketball's golden age of traditional bigs, that would be from the 60s through the 90s. This was the era when centers ruled the earth. Back then, 60% of shots came from inside the paint because there was no defensive 3-second rule until 2001. And that means big men could park in the lane all night, swatting shots and bullying anyone who dared enter.
Muscle inside and get him.
I'm too strong for Kareem. And if you're going to go one-on-one, you take it to the basket.
Players like Hakeem, Wilt Chamberlain, Patrick Ewing, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar dominated during that time. They did it all through mostly sheer force and power. However, sometimes they showed flashes of what was to come. For instance, in 1968, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 8.6 assists per game as a center, proving that even bigs could pass. But of course, he did his thing mostly by scoring 50 a night and grabbing every rebound in sight. Then came Shaq Diesel, 7'1", 325 pounds, rim-shattering dunks. In the 2000 finals, he averaged 38 points and 16 rebounds, all while dragging defenders like rag dolls. He was so unstoppable, teams invented Hack-a-Shaq just to slow him down. But even back then, the center position wasn't stable. For instance, Hakeem Olajuwon could be seen as the opposite of Shaq. He had smooth footwork, the dream shake, and an elite defense. With that, he won 2 rings, 2 Defensive Player of the Year trophies, and other honors. But even with all this slight changes in what the position stood for, the center position was mainly for bigs who lived and died inside the paint. Patrick Ewing carried the Knicks with 21 a game, and Dwight Howard's freakish athleticism led Orlando to the finals. Also, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's skyhook, which is still the most unstoppable shot ever, piled up 38,387 points. Basically, these were the Titans. Dynasties rose and fell on the backs of dominant centers. But then, the rules changed. Hand checking was banned in 2004. The defensive 3-second rule opened the floor and the game sped up. Suddenly, those paint-bound giants looked like dinosaurs in a guard-driven league. So, just as people were beginning to get addicted to screens, NBA bigs also became screen specialists. Once the rules shifted in the early 2000s, the NBA became a track meet. No more camping in the lane, no more hand checking to slow down guards. The game sped up, spacing widened, and suddenly centers weren't kings anymore. Now, they were bodyguards, and their main job was to set a hard screen, roll to the rim, and pray for a lob.
Fiddly now on Nash. Nash takes him off the dribble. Wrap around to Stoudemire. And the foul. What a pass from Steve Nash.
This is going to be crazy. I like this. Oh, he got it.
Amari Stoudemire embodied this new wave. With Steve Nash, he averaged 25.2 points per game in 2005, living off that deadly pick and roll. He wasn't posting up like Kareem, he was sprinting to the rim, finishing with thunder dunks. Role players got in on the act too. Marcin Gortat perfected the Polish hammer screen, freeing guards like John Wall.
Splitting defenders for Gortat.
He wasn't flashy, but he made a living creating buckets for others, averaging 10 points and 8 rebounds in Washington. And then came Lob City. Chris Paul throwing lobs to DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin turned the Clippers into a nightly highlight reel.
Here comes Chris Paul. The lob. The jam! Oh, what a monster jam by DeAndre Jordan! This is a rough afternoon. Alley-oop to Griffin! Throws it down! Another highlight move, Blake Griffin.
Jordan led the league in rebounds 3 times, dunking everything in sight. Tyson Chandler used the same blueprint to anchor Dallas's 2011 championship run with some rim running and shot blocking. But here's the thing, these guys were one-dimensional. They couldn't shoot, couldn't pass, and when defenses packed the paint, their impact shrank. All of a sudden, centers were turning into role players. They were dominating and teams were no longer building championship teams around them. So what happened next? The three-point revolution. It was now time for what we call the stretch big. An example of this is Brook Lopez, who went from a post scorer in Brooklyn to draining 36% of his threes in Milwaukee, allowing Giannis Antetokounmpo the luxury of space. The same thing happened with Karl Anthony Towns, Kristaps Porzingis, and Miles Turner, to name a few. Suddenly, centers were bombing from deep, and rarely what life was like in the paint. In fact, Cat won a three-point contest in 2022.
We're talking about 30. 6 are available. I'm going to Vegas. 2 in a row in the corner. Money ball. 30, 31. Oh, man. You called it.
Now that's something unthinkable for a center back in Shaq's day. But that was the direction the position was going in the league. Then, Joel Embiid added his own twist. Bully ball post dominance mixed with 37% shooting from deep. Suddenly, 7-footers weren't just protecting the rim, they were spacing the floor. But even with the lobs and threes, something was still missing. These centers could score, sure, but could they run an offense? Could they dictate a game without the ball in their hands? The NBA was about to find out soon, because the Joker was coming. Now, before Nikola Jokić made passing centers mainstream, a few giants were already testing the blueprint. And, as I said earlier, Wilt Chamberlain already tried it. He led the league in assists in 1967-1968, averaging 8.6 per game. A 7-footer running the offense in that day and age was unheard of. But Wilt proved centers could do more than just bang in the paint. Maybe, just maybe, they could also orchestrate the offense. Then, Bill Walton carried the torch in the 70s. His passing turned the Blazers into champions in 1977. His career was cut short by injuries, but his vision was decades ahead of his time.
Trailing 2 games to none. Walton on the lob. Oh, he got it in! Bill Walton got it in! Porzic and Gross. What a sequence for the Blazers!
Then came Arvydas Sabonis. By the time he joined the NBA in the 90s, he wasn't even at his physical peak, but his passing was dazzling. Averaging 3 assists per game with Portland, he showed flashes of what a 7-footer could do as a playmaker. Maybe, if he had come earlier, he might have shifted the whole league sooner.
Bryant's and Jokić What a pass by Sabonis! Wrap around to Harden.
Fast forward a bit, and we see Marc Gasol quietly play his role in Toronto's 2019 title. His post-passing freed Kawhi Leonard for dagger buckets, and while he wasn't flashy, he was surgical. But today, the game has gone full circle. From bigs waiting in the paint for the pass, now we have players like Domantas Sabonis and Alperen Şengün embracing the passing center game. I mean, Houston's Alperen Şengün is being dubbed Baby Jokic for a reason. With 5 assists per game last season, the crafty handoffs and behind-the-back dimes he did fit the profile perfectly. Bam Adebayo in Miami, too, has become a facilitator, averaging 3.9 assists while anchoring the Heat's defense. But here's the drop. As good as these guys are, none of them could bend the game like Jokic. Wilt had 1 season. Walton had 1 run. Gasol and Sabonis are great, but they don't control every possession. And that's the difference. Jokic isn't just good for a big man, he's the system. The offense flows through him like he's Magic Johnson in a 7-foot body. And once he showed the world what a point center could do, the center position would never remain the same.
You know, in the NFL, they have a guy upstairs that's in charge of the challenge flag for the coaches. You should.
That's not super relevant to an NBA game, but.
Oh, how about Jokic with an incredible pass to Aaron Gordon?
See, Nikola Jokic isn't just playing center, he's rewriting the manual. His 2024-25 season stats were simply ridiculous, averaging a triple-double with 29.8 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 10.3 assists. For the first time ever, we now had a center who was not just the engine, but the entire system. Heck, he even almost resurrected Russell Westbrook's career. Wilt could never, Shaq never sniffed, and Kareem never dreamed of such. With 164 career triple-doubles and counting, he shattered every ceiling for big men. 3 MVPs, a finals MVP, and winning the championship just to show everyone that this new style could win titles too. And to think he's doing it all by outthinking everyone, including the coaches. LeBron once said Jokic sees plays before they happen, and the tape proves it. From water polo flick passes to half-court dimes, his vision is chess moves ahead. Already at 4,600 plus assists, he's on pace to pass Kareem's all-time center record of 5,660 before age 32. But why is Jokic's style so effective? Well, the NBA's rules of today favor space and skill. Defensive 3-second violations keep the paint open. Hand check bans make perimeter play unstoppable. Teams now launch over 42% of shots from 3, so a plotting paint clogger is a liability. But a 7-footer who can pass, stretch, and read the game like Jokic? Now, that's the new gold standard. And that's why Jokic has been the best player in the league for about the last 5 years. The center position used to be about size, strength, and dominance. Wilt had the numbers, Kareem had the skyhook, Shaq had the power. But Nikola Jokic, he flipped the script. His passing IQ, his record-breaking triple-doubles, and his ability to make teammates better turned the big man into the floor general. But is it possible for centers to go back to living in the paint? Well, that's next to impossible. With NBA rules favoring space and ball movement, Jokic's style is built for the modern game. He's not just redefining the position, he's redefining what it means to dominate the NBA. In all this, Jokic has proven the most important skill for a modern center isn't brute force, but brain power. And the league is racing to catch up. But who knows the rules the NBA might make in the future? Do you think centers can still change in the future? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, then watch The Truth About Nikola Jokic as a Player in the NBA next.